watching Kcal News Mornings at 9.
Remember, we're always on at kcalnews.com and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. The 10 at 10 starts right now.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
Good morning and welcome to our new home for the 10 at 10. Today is Monday, August 11th, and I'm Amy Johnson.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Chris Holmstrom. Digging the new home.
Yes.
It feels good. All right.
Does.
Hey, we got a lot going on this morning. Story number one, water. It has been restored for thousands of people after almost a week without it, but don't turn the tap just yet. We're live with what you need to know.
That's right. And the sun is bringing the heat for a few more days before we actually start to feel some relief. Amber Lee has your next weather forecast, and it's certainly already feeling warm out there.
Yeah, you know, we had some really hot temperatures over the weekend. We're just going to continue this trend. So let me just show you what's happening as I open up our weather sphere. You could see beautiful sunshine, and then we're also looking at some really bad air quality still, and that's because we have this high pressure system. We have all the lingering smoke and haze from the wildfires burning around Southern California. So this is why areas like the Inland Empire, you can see all the red here. We're looking at some really bad air quality for all individuals as we head toward the afternoon. So try and stay indoors as much as you can, but take a look at our highs. It's going to be another hot one. Scorching temperatures for the high deserts at 107 degrees. We'll still have triple digits for the valleys, maybe some triple digits over the Inland Empire, 87 for the mountains, 86 slightly above average for LA and Orange County, and then the place to be to beat the heat along the coast at 76 degrees. All right, coming up my next weather forecast, I'll tell you when that relief will be arriving.
All right, story number one, the water is running again in the San Fernando Valley. More than 9,000 customers, they've been dealing with dry taps for almost a week. And while this is great news, there is still a warning. Our Cara Fincham live in Granada Hills. She just spoke with a homeowner who ran into another problem. I mean, these people can't catch a break, Cara.
No, and this homeowner really did kind of get socked by this. Take a look right across the street, that corner house that you see there. He tells us a 3,000-foot hose leading to a temporary water source failed epically. Water shot up into the air, busted that brick that you see there, and take a look at what it did to the patio just inside. Vartan Nazarian says he and his wife had just finished this patio area a year ago. They were driving in their car Saturday when their home security cameras alerted them that something was very wrong.
And then I pulled the car on the side and checked the camera, see that disaster water coming like through to the cameras.
The Nazarians say LADWP has stopped by. They left a card. They tell us they've got damage to their patio, their roof, the wall, furniture in there, as well as water in the garage. Now, the hose was in place as crews worked to fix a broken valve and restore water to customers both here and in neighboring Porter Ranch. That repair complete as of early this morning with tap water flowing for households, but not yet safe to drink. Pick up the water?
Yes.
Pick up the water.
Yes, definitely.
Is it nice to be able to take a shower, though, at home this morning?
Of course, of course, of course. Look at me.
Are we on
look like
TV?
I haven't taken a shower today.
And he's got a great spirit. He was one of the many picking up water at this distribution site in Porter Ranch. Now, this morning alerts went out letting people in these impacted areas know that a boil water notice does remain in effect. LADWP says water quality testing is underway to ensure safety. That's likely going to take a few more days. Workers did finish fixing that broken valve over the weekend. When it broke last Tuesday, customers immediately reporting having no or little water flow. Over the weekend, though, everything changed. LADWP was able to fix that broken valve. And as of this morning, they're telling people you can shower now. You can use that water for household functions like doing your laundry, but just don't drink it yet. And of course, this man right behind us, Mr. Nazarian and his wife, are dealing with a bigger problem, but they say they are in touch with LADWP. Back to you.
And I'm assignment manager Mark Liu here at the desk. A fire at a major AT&T facility is causing headaches nearly 24 hours later as customers in the area still are without phone or internet service. Let me show you some video. This was actually a fire from yesterday at Vermont and Alondra in the Harbor Gateway area. You can see major flames here at a 3-building complex. This was an AT&T facility, and inside there, LA City Fire says they responded and found lead acid batteries that were on fire, as well as some other telecommunications equipment. This was a major fire. It took them nearly 5 hours to get this one out yesterday, but the damage is still being felt today. The hazmat operation is now done, as those lead acid batteries did cause a problem. They needed a hazmat team to respond and control that material that was on fire. There's no more danger to the community, but there is still some service outages for people in the Gardena, Torrance, and Harbor Gateway area. The Gardena Police Department says they still don't have phone service at their own police department, but people in Gardena can still call 911. They'll get service. They just can't call in to the police department themselves. There are also customers in the area that still say they don't have internet or phone service, but we have made a call to AT&T to try to get some more information about restoration efforts. So far, they have not communicated to us, but they do say they are working on it. Got crews in the field trying to get those services back up. That's it here from the desk. I'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Time for story number 2. Now it's a pursuit like we've never seen before. The suspects went from a truck to a big rig to another truck, all in an effort to ditch police. Kcal News reporter Tina Patel is in downtown LA, where the suspects are still on the loose.
The sheriff's department is working on this investigation along with CHP because this pursuit went through several jurisdictions over the course of 2 hours. There was a shooting, armed carjackings. Fortunately, no one was hurt. It all started with this dark pickup truck from Kcal. You can see the suspects in that vehicle get out a couple times and try to carjack other vehicles. This happened in the Sylmar area on the 5 freeway. We've learned that the pickup truck was actually stolen from a Lancaster neighborhood around 10 last night. The owner of the truck saw the suspects taking off. He tried to follow him, but we're told they started shooting at him. Eventually, the suspects carjacked a large tanker truck. The suspects then took that semi, which we believe was full of milk. They were driving on the wrong side of the freeway at points, then getting off, driving through the streets of downtown LA. They slowed down, but officers kept their distance for safety reasons. The suspects eventually pulled the tanker under a freeway overpass and then got into a different pickup truck. We talked to a driver who was caught in a roadblock moments after that. She says everyone was talking about the carjacking, but no one could exactly see what happened. She can't imagine how scary it must have been.
Why did they lock the doors? And they were saying that, they had guns. So I think in a moment, of course, you don't know, they could shoot through a window. So you're just like, it's a vehicle. Material stuff is not worth it. Your life is more worth it.
This white pickup is the third vehicle the suspects stole. It looks like they switched drivers as they made their way to the Boyle Heights area. They were making U-turns. It doesn't appear they knew where they were going. They went under another overpass. It took a few seconds before the truck slowly came out the other side. Officers soon discovered the pickup was empty. It was rolling on its own. They're now trying to figure out if the suspects bailed and ran away on foot or if they carjacked another vehicle. It is not clear. Investigators are talking to drivers and witnesses. They're looking for security video cameras and footage to see if that can help them identify these suspects and catch them. In downtown LA, Tina Patel, Kcal News.
Yeah, that was a wild pursuit. Okay, Tina, thank you so much. Story number 3, a New York family is mourning the death of a son and brother killed while visiting Puerto Rico for a Bad Bunny concert. Authorities say yesterday morning, 25-year-old Kevin Mars and his friends had gone to a club in La Perla. That's a coastal community with a history of crime. Well, several people near the group started arguing before someone pulled out a gun and opened fire. This was yesterday morning. Mars was hit in the stomach and taken to the hospital, where he later died.
We told him not to go outside, after, from the resort, because we know Puerto Rican is not a safety place. What we asking the people, if everybody knows what happened, who did this, because if someone can help us, because we don't know. We don't know, and then we want justice.
And we know 2 other victims remain hospitalized. So far, no arrests have been made.
Well, the White House is taking over Washington, D.C.'s police department in a bid to curb crime, even though recent reports show it's down. President Trump also plans to deploy the National Guard and remove the homeless. Kcal News reporter Torian Small has reaction from D.C.'s mayor.
Protesters demonstrated near the White House against President Trump's order deploying federal forces to patrol the streets of Washington, D.C.
and placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. In addition, deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
D.C. officials say they've already taken steps to reduce crime. Police data shows violent crime is down 26% over the last year, and homicides are down 12%.
We've done that by working with the community, working with the police, working with our prosecutors, and in fact, working with the federal government.
The president is also targeting the homeless in the city.
We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
The president's announcement comes as he's preparing for a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the end of the week. The summit in Alaska was set up at Putin's request as President Trump pushes for an end to the war in Ukraine. Already a point of contention is what happens to the territory and land seized during the fighting. President Trump signaled he's open to a deal.
It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both.
But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is not scheduled to attend, rejected the idea, saying Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. Torian Small, Kcal News.
Well, still ahead on the 10 at 10, fire crews gain the upper hand as flames spread across the West. We're going to look at the progress. Plus, wild weather hits the Midwest. We're talking flooding, homes, also stranded drivers. I mean, just look at this. We're going to show you the aftermath and also the cleanup. Then, comedian and actress Tiffany Haddish, well, she's serving up some smiles and nourishing the neighborhood. Well, she's stepping up in a big way to help with wildfire survivors. We'll tell you all about it. You're watching the 10 at 10.
Story number 4 now, extreme weather slamming parts of the Midwest. Take a look, a historic amount of rain causing flooding that trapped people in their cars. Dozens of people had to be rescued. CBS correspondent Tom Hansen is just outside Milwaukee, where a flood warning remains in effect.
Those are cars completely underwater.
Drone video shows cars still submerged Sunday outside American Family Field after as much as 14 inches of rain fell late Saturday. Brian Baxter rushed home after his daughters called in the middle of the night, but he was unable to reach them.
I was shocked by what I saw.
When I first saw it, the water was coming up towards the garage, so I called my dad, and I was a little bit nervous since they weren't home.
Sunday morning, the Baxter sisters were rescued by boat and reunited with their father. In Franklin, a teen caught in rising water on the Root River was rescued by the local fire department. That river set a new record height Sunday, reaching 11.7 feet. And dozens of water rescues were reported around southeastern Wisconsin, 65 of them in Milwaukee.
This flooding event, it's very significant. It's something that Milwaukee hasn't seen in perhaps a decade or more.
The floodwaters seeped into homes, in some cases rising into people's living rooms. The extreme weather also caused the Wisconsin State Fair, which dates back to 1851, to cancel its last day. The same system brought destructive winds to eastern Nebraska. One woman was killed after a tree landed on her car. In Lincoln, wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour tore off part of the roof of the Nebraska State Penitentiary, forcing hundreds of inmates to be relocated. And in Missouri, flooding on Sunday created this geyser in the middle of the road and caused backlogs on highways in and out of St. Louis.
And here in Milwaukee County, the National Weather Service warns that some creeks and rivers, like the one behind me, could continue to spill over their banks all the way up until Wednesday morning. Tom Hansen, CBS News, Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
And 37 major wildfires are burning across 9 states in the western U.S. And the heat, well, it could fuel new flames. But progress is being made. So take a look right here. This is a view of the Canyon Fire from a satellite in space. You could just see all the damage. It grew to more than 5,300 acres in 2 days. Keep in mind, this is near Castaic. Right now, 91% contained. 7 structures, though, were destroyed, including 2 homes. A firefighter was also injured when his truck rolled on Friday. He's recovering at the hospital. But let's talk about the Gifford fire. So further north, the evacuation zone for the Gifford fire burning in Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties is now more than 800 square miles. It's grown to more than 118,000 acres. Fire officials say it's 33% contained. But there's also 2 additional mega fires. Take a full look. One in Arizona, the other in Colorado. They are being fueled by bone-dry conditions. The Dragon Bravo has been burning near the north rim of the Grand Canyon since July 4th. It is 38% contained. In Colorado, you've got the Leaf Fire. It's been burning for more than a week. This wildfire has prompted additional evacuations, including inmates who were moved from a prison Saturday night when those flames came really close.
And the weather has just been so warm, certainly making this firefight more difficult.
Yeah, you know that warm air mass that we've been talking about, it's still here. So this is why that elevated fire danger is so crucial. We don't have any of those alerts that we had last week, but we're still dealing with the summer heat, right?
Yeah.
We're still in summer. So here's a quick look at what's happening. And this is the reason why we're also looking at a lot more of this heat here in Southern California. It's because of this high pressure system. So we've been tracking it. It's been here with us for the last few days. And this is what's pumping in all of that hot weather. This is why that warm air mass continues to linger here in Southern California. All right, so I'm going to take you over here to show you our weather headlines, because we are not only dealing with another day of hot afternoon conditions here in Southern California, but our temperatures are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees above average again once you get away from the coast. So as I mentioned, elevated fire danger. That means all the elements are there. If a fire were to start, it could spread fast. But the good news, relief is on the way. We're looking at that cooling trend beginning as early as Wednesday. So this is something that we are really watching for and looking out for, because I know a lot of people have been talking about how hot it's been. You know, remember, it was a little bit mild to start off here in Southern California for that summer conditions, but now things are really heating up. So it definitely finally feels like summer. Take a look at these temperatures. I'm just going to show you the difference. So in San Clemente, we have temperatures about 72 degrees. And then when you compare that all the way into the Coachella Valley, we have 115 degrees for Palm Springs. Here in our region, we're looking at 78 for Santa Ana, 100 degrees for San Bernardino today. So I'm just picking and choosing, and I just want to show you the contrast. So definitely much cooler near the coast. And then in Santa Monica, we're looking at these temperatures about 76 degrees. And then once you head inland, we're looking at those very hot temperatures, especially over our high desert communities. You could see 70s for Oxnard. And then this is the big difference. So from Santa Monica to areas like Lancaster at 107 degrees, that's a 31 degrees temperature contrast. So we're looking at our microclimates really working hard here in Southern California. Okay, so now we are talking about the rest of the region where we have these really hot temperatures again. So it's going to be about the same as we head into tomorrow. So I just want to show you how warm it's going to get as we head into the rest of the afternoon. We're still talking about a lot of students headed back to the classroom today in the Inland Empire. So they're going to be dealing with those 100-degree temperatures for Lake Elsinore. And then we're also dealing with 100-degree conditions for the Van Nuys area, upper 90s for Santa Clarita. And then again, the coast is where you want to be to try to beat the heat, 76 for LAX. And then, of course, if you're going to take your dogs out today, especially in the Inland Empire where we're talking about those triple-digit conditions, maybe you want to hold off or do a quick walk in the shade, because by the time we head into the afternoon, we're looking at 98 degrees. And then the air temperature versus the ground temperature, it's even hotter. So do that palm test I always talk about. Put your hand on the ground. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for your dog's paws, because even at 95 degrees, the concrete is about 140 degrees, 155 for the asphalt. It only takes a couple, about 60 seconds for your dog's paws to burn. So definitely watch out for that. But the good news, we do have relief on the way, and a lot of people are waiting for it. We're going to look at much cooler conditions for the weekend. It's going to feel so much nicer than what we felt this past weekend. And here's that 7-day forecast to give you that nice look. We're talking about mid-80s today and tomorrow for LA and Orange County. Then by Wednesday, we turn the corner. We start to see that high pressure system loosen its grip over the region. And then you can see how temperatures just drop. By the time we head into Saturday, upper 70s. For the valleys, we're going to see another day of triple-digit heat. Same with tomorrow. And then we turn the corner the second half of the week. In fact, by Saturday, we're looking at temperatures topping out at 89 degrees. So we're in store for much nicer weather as we head into the next few days. We just have to hold off on today and tomorrow, and then things are going to start to really feel much better. Upper 90s through Wednesday for the Inland Empire, and then low 90s for the weekend. All right, Chris and Amy, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Amber. Still ahead on the 10 at 10, from seed to slice, watch artisan bakers craft sourdough the ancient way and see why it's making a fresh comeback.
It's back to school for a lot of students across the Southland. I'm Rick Monson as we're live in Walnut at Oswalt Academy, where they rolled out the red carpet. We'll show you the excitement next.
And story number 5 now. Artisan bakers are really, sparking a new renaissance for an age-old classic.
Yeah, they really are. So we're talking about sourdough bread, but the ancient way. And they're bringing bread back to its roots. CBS San Francisco reporter Itai Hodge shows us why it might make you crave carbs like never before.
If you're one of the millions who think bread no longer has a place at the table, you may want to clear a spot. Because inside this unassuming bakery in San Francisco, something's happening that might just have you believe in carbs again. This is not your Wonder Bread.
No, this is not your Wonder Bread.
Jamie Sams runs the kitchen at Jane the Bakery, where on busy mornings they can crank out up to 600 loaves, each one requiring about 5 days from start to finish.
It's a really simple idea of just utilizing what's already in nature.
Owner Amanda Michael says they wanted to go back to how bread was made thousands of years ago.
We're using the whole kernel of grains, so the germ, the endosperm, nothing stripped out of it.
Not only do they mill their grain on site, it's grown on their family farm, taking every loaf from seed to slice. And customers like Sharon Garrison say it's the best thing since, well, you know.
There's no word to describe it.
Karen Bornarth from the Bread Bakers Guild of America says shoppers are pickier now, and while that's pushed bakeries to step up their game, artisanal bread takes work, and that costs more.
Keeping it accessible for people, keeping it affordable so that the market can grow is the real challenge.
In the end, it all comes down to one question. Does it rise to the occasion? Which is why, in the name of journalism, we had to try a few loaves.
Oh, wow.
Okay, maybe more than just a few.
What's the most important ingredient? Love. No, I'm just kidding.
And that passion for sourdough may just prove that the notion people are done with bread is toast. Itai Hodge, CBS News, San Francisco.
It looks delicious. Well, there's much more ahead on the 10 at 10. School is in session this morning for hundreds of young scholars. We're going to have a look at their first day back as they settle in for an exciting new school year. Then, an Altadena school lost its kitchen in the Eaton fire. See the effort to get students the meals they need to really fuel their brains. And it's a bookstore dedicated to cookbooks, but it's stirring up more than just good reads. We're going to show you how they're cooking up a community.
This is Kcal News Mornings.
And welcome back to our new home for the 10 at 10. We are just halfway through. Good morning, everybody. I'm Amy Johnson.
I'm loving this.
I am
This
too.
is fun. I mean, talk about a fun Monday. I'm Chris Holmstrom, everyone. All right, story number 6 is ahead. The bell has rung, and some students, they're back in school this morning. We're live at a look at the energy that they're bringing into the new year.
Yes, but first, the heat is sticking around SoCal for a longer few days.
Two more days.
I'm trying to make
Then
it
the
as
cool down.
positive as possible.
I knew that people were going to start complaining or, talking about the heat, after so long of being mild this summer. But it's okay because, it's summer and we are not used to the heat, because we were spoiled in the beginning of summer. But here's a look. I'm going to open up our weather sphere windows to show you our next weather sky cam. Catalina Island looking fantastic this morning. I do want to show you what it feels like already, and it's not even the hottest part of the day. We're already starting to see some really toasty conditions in areas like Temecula, 86 degrees, 81 for Corona. And then once you head into the Antelope Valley, look at this. Temperatures are already in the mid 90s. So this is a great indicator of just how hot it's going to get here in Southern California. Temperatures currently already in the high 70s for downtown LA. But as we head into the afternoon, as I mentioned, it's going to get even hotter. So here's a look. Brace for it because we're talking about scorching temperatures in the high desert at 107 degrees. We have triple digits for the valley. valleys, 86 for LA and Orange County, and of course, a place to beat the heat. The coast, 76 degrees. Coming up, my next weather forecast, I will talk about a big cool down headed our way, and I'll let you know just how cool it's going to get.
I'm assignment manager Mark Liu here at the desk. This morning, our breaking news crew was on their way to an assignment in South LA and saw smoke rising from a neighborhood, and they found a fire in a storm drain. Take a look at the video. This was shot by our breaking news photographer just after 3 this morning. They were actually on their way to a completely different story when they saw a bright orange glow and smoke coming from the side of the road in a neighborhood. They pulled over, jumped out of the news van, and saw this. A fire inside the storm drain. Now, this was right at West 45th Street and Figueroa in South LA. There were no first responders here yet, no firefighters. You can see that maintenance access hole was open. Our crew ended up shooting this video waiting for LA City Fire to arrive as some neighbors had called 911. You can see that orange glow there. Well, it turns out there was actually a homeless encampment in the storm drain that was on fire. Now, when LA City firefighters arrived, they didn't find anybody down there, but firefighters had to crawl into that storm drain to get that fire out. No injuries. They got that fire out in short order. The fire captain there actually told our breaking news crew that there are many homeless encampments in storm drains throughout the Los Angeles area, and sometimes they catch fire. And these things happen. Now, an arson team has to go down into that storm drain and search through all of that to try and find a cause for that fire. That's it here from the desk. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Mark, thank you so much. And story number 6, some students in the Roland Unified School District may not be happy that summer is already over. So, well, the schools are welcoming them back in a big way. Let's go to Kcal News reporter Rick Montanez live in Walnut with a look at the enthusiastic reception that they had this morning. Rick, good morning. Back to school for so many kids.
Chris, yes, hundreds of thousands of students across the Southland are going back to school. Many of them today, some of them later this week. And you said it, not everyone is going to be excited. But this school made sure to roll out the red carpet to help get kids excited and happy to be back in class. Yeah, so you see it here. They rolled out the red carpet. They have staff, they have teachers, they have the cheerleaders, lots of energy and excitement to welcome back these students. This academy is transitional kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. And so there were lots of hugs, high fives, and smiles to go around. Everyone I talked with, from the principal to parents, they expressed how beneficial it is to throw a big welcome back celebration for the students, especially for those who may not be so thrilled that summer is over for them. Oswalt Academy is also known for generations of families attending, and I met one mother this morning who brought her daughter and several other relatives for their first day of class.
And we have a kindergartner that started today, and then a 3rd, 4th grader, and my daughter's 8th grade.
So this is a big day, not just for them, but for you.
Huge day for our family, yes, yes. It's a wonderful day, beautiful day, sun's out, and it's emotional too.
It's really important. We just want to make sure our students feel welcomed and included, and that they belong here, so that they know that we're all here to help support them.
To support them, to help them get through the heat of the day, of course. This is part of the Roland Unified School District. So all of their schools went back to campus today, and all of them rolled out a red or a blue carpet, depending on the school colors. And also one thing that they say they're going to do later on this week at this campus is they're bringing in a shaved ice truck to help cool off their students. And just as a reminder that they are welcome back on campus and hoping for a wonderful school year. And of course, we wish them all the best. Live in Walnut this morning, Rick Montanez, Kcal News.
Ah, so fun. Rick, and I got to ask, you got 2 kids of your own, you got 2 daughters. You know what it's like to feel emotional when it's that first day of school and you set your kids off quickly. What advice do you have for parents who are going through the same situation that you went through?
You really just have to talk to the kids about being ready and hope that they are excited. If they're not, you tell them it's going to be okay anyway. And, you know, this is part of growing up, and have a great day. That's it.
Have a great day.
With a smile.
I love it. And tell them be yourself and be kind as well. Rick, thank you so much.
Yep.
Sometimes it's... Well, Well, story number 7 now. The Eaton fire destroyed a school kitchen, but this setback, it isn't stopping kids from getting a healthy meal. Kcal reporter Jeff Nguyen shows us the plan to really keep them fueled throughout the day.
Last Tuesday, Avison Charter Schools held a soft back-to-school night at its temporary campus a week before the new academic year in Pasadena, where a local law firm donated more than 200 backpacks and school supplies to students. 15-year-old Kylan Hill was there with his mom.
Pens, highlighter, scissors, basically the necessities.
Feels good, knowing that the school cared enough to provide this for everyone.
Feeling good is also a priority for Food Service Director Kristen Kennedy. Her team has been leasing space out of a former culinary school after the Eaton fire burned down their Altadena campus, which included their kitchen.
With new rules and health permits that we had to change our service model from buffet style to individual pack and go.
That's because more than 1,000 meals between breakfast and lunch will be delivered to 6 different campuses to Avison students and several other schools. The workload for this team has doubled along with its expenses. What have some of the extra costs been?
First of all, the rent and trash removal and pest control and the cost of the prepackaged meals.
We got a glimpse of some of the meals back in February. Executive Director Ian McFeet says about 70 Avison families, including his, lost their homes. Another 200 displaced, so food insecurity is a problem, which is why he's even more committed to nutrition that's as close to scratch cooking as possible, low in preservatives and rich in fruit and vegetables. Why is that so important to you?
Having good food quality is one step towards healthy living. Food can be and should be medicine. So when you put good food into your body, the result is that you have better health.
Barbara Thomas says her son has experienced positive peer pressure when it comes to eating at school.
Because this guy right here did not like vegetables, especially green. Feels good that he's actually trying vegetables and getting a love of something more nutritious.
Well, since I'm not worrying about being hungry, I focus a lot more than I usually do.
For young minds, brain power can often start with a full belly. In Pasadena, Jeff Nguyen, Kcal News.
Story number 8, nourishing the neighborhood after the fires. Comedian actress Tiffany Haddish is taking care of families still struggling months after the disaster.
Yeah, take a look at how she's actually spreading hope and kindness in the community, one grocery cart at a time.
God bless you. I came in this store, just wanted to bring some joy, heal some bellies, you know what I'm saying, fill up some refrigerators, and I'm so excited and so happy and so honored that God gave me the ability to bring together people, to feed them, to make life easier for them. I remember being homeless. I remember not having food. I know how hard it is when I come to buy groceries and it's like I only buy like 10 items and it's almost $100. I'm just thinking to myself, how are people surviving?
After everything that's happened with the fires and everything, a lot of the people here felt like they were not being seen, like they were not getting the help that was needed. So this says a lot.
It's just me still on the property while I watched my house burn down after 28 years and I have nothing left. So thank you for this.
Thank you for showing me.
Something like this lets you know that there's inspiration, that people do care about what's happening in the world. We need more love like this.
My little soul is all filled up. My heart is all full. Get some healthy options for them. Y'all pick out your favorite fruits and make your mama giddy. I got more than 15 hugs. 15 hugs a day keep the psychiatrists away. So I won't be dealing with them for a month. Save some money on that. I'm lying. I'm gonna be talking to my psychiatrist as soon as I leave from here because I can't wait to brag. Joy is growing in the grocery store.
And you know, Haddish also challenged other celebrities to kick in funds also to help out. Well, still ahead on the 10 at 10, it's a bookstore devoted to good eats, but it's serving up more than just recipes. Why the secret ingredient to its success might not be what you think.
Oh, that's a good tease. And also, Amy, you probably thought AOL hung up this service long time ago, but it's only ending just now. The internet relic, that is, finally saying adios. Story number 9, there's a unique bookstore in Washington, D.C., and it sells nothing but cookbooks.
Yeah, but the real secret to its success isn't found on its shelves or by turning the pages. CBS correspondent Jan Crawford shows us the bold way it cooks up connections.
At this small business, the books come to life.
I was just impatient with the buttercream.
And the customers
Oh, that's beautiful.
are helping build community with their creations.
It was a cake loaf.
Bold Fork Books in the nation's capital is turning the page on traditional book clubs with a sweet twist. Hosting cookbook clubs and, on this weekend, a bake club.
Great community and delicious food.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, what could be better than that,
Exactly.
right? Not much.
Veteran cooks and the curious, each identifying themselves by what they brought, pack this intimate 500-square-foot shop, pile their plates, and dip their forks into dishes each signs up to prepare and share from that month's cookbook.
How did you decide to make this? Honestly, it was the easiest one, and I'm not a baker, so.
This summer Sunday, it's Potluck Desserts by Justin Burke.
The desserts look amazing. Some of them look better than I made them.
Spreading the crumbs of community is part of the recipe for success at this unique brand of bookstore, where all the titles on these shelves, all 1,200 of them, are cookbooks.
I just love the community vibe, the neighborhood vibe, the fact that it's cookbooks.
And that community love is allowing Bold Fork to buck the trend of many brick-and-mortar businesses forced to fold.
It's not just a bookstore.
Yeah.
But it's a community.
Yes. A friend once told me that she was like, oh, so the books are really a front, huh?
Clementine Thomas and Sam Vasfi, who co-own the French restaurant Chez Billy Sud in Washington, opened Bold Fork at a bold time.
You did it in October of 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, right in the middle of the pandemic.
Well, I mean, first we only knew it could get better.
You only knew it could get better.
Yeah.
The idea for what the couple called their retirement dream came on an earlier visit to Appetite for Books in Montreal, one of about 15 cookbook stores in the U.S. and Canada that are feeding an appetite for more than fresh recipes.
So much of everything happens digitally, and I think people are missing that sense of connection.
Something Sally Chang has been finding here all year.
If you've ever had that concept of a Friendsgiving where instead of it being with your family, it's just a big potluck with your friends, it's like that, except everybody's like amazing at cooking.
Like first-timer Arlana Aguilaga.
They said they kind of saw this as like a clubhouse.
Definitely, yeah. I think it has that vibe for sure.
I mean, it's more than just desserts, right?
More than just desserts. I think like finding connection.
And finding this recipe for community that's too good to keep on the shelf. For CBS Mornings, I'm Jan Crawford in Washington.
I have to admit, when it's hot like this, I do not want to even turn on the oven.
I agree.
What do we eat when it's hot?
Salad.
Okay.
Cold fruit.
Cold fruit? Okay.
Yeah, ice
I need to figure out what to make for
Oh,
dinner.
ice
That's why I'm
cream.
asking. But I know it's going to be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be really hot.
Oh, ice cream for dinner? Every day.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're talking about being hot as an oven. I do want to show you that it does get really hot in a matter of minutes here in Southern California, especially in the car. So it's really important that you don't leave pets and people inside the car. The temperature difference. So it can be 90 degrees outside and it only takes up to about 10 minutes for it to jump up to almost 20 degrees to make it 109 degrees. 20 minutes, it gets into 119 and then so on and so forth. You can see how hot it is. So just a reminder, please don't leave people or pets in the car because we are talking about another hot afternoon here in Southern California. Temperatures are going to be 5 to 10 degrees above average, especially once you get away from the coast. And then because we've had such hot, dry conditions here in Southern California, that fire danger continues to be really elevated. And then the good news is that finally some cooler weather, some relief will be arriving once we head into Wednesday. All right, so I want to show you really quickly what it feels like right now. We're looking at these temperatures, not even in the hottest part of the day yet. And sometimes these numbers look like what we can typically see on a hot day, but it's going to get even hotter than that because of this high pressure system that's overhead. So we're already reaching temperatures for areas like the Antelope Valley in the mid 90s right now. We have some low 90s for Santa Clarita. We're at 82 already for Pasadena. And then for the Corona area, we're looking at temperatures about 81 degrees and then Temecula 88. So the place to be, obviously, where you want to beat the heat will be right along the coast. Temperatures are going to be about 70s for Malibu. And then we're also looking at those temperatures topping out in the low 70s near Laguna Beach. Okay, so here is a look at our temperature contrast. I just want to show you, as I showed you those current temperatures, temperatures. As we head toward the afternoon, the temperature difference in some spots will be up to about more than 30 degrees from the coast, like Santa Monica, 76 all the way to the Lancaster area, where we're looking at those temperatures topping out at 107 degrees. We're also talking about triple digits for San Bernardino this afternoon. And then for Santa Ana, we're looking at temperatures in the high 70s. But look at the biggest temperature contrast from Palm Springs to San Clemente. That's more than 40 degrees this afternoon. So again, temperature spread is wide because the coast has the ocean waters and has a little bit more of the sea breeze to keep it nice and moderate, while our inland communities were under that high pressure system. So that's why it's going to be another hot one, no matter how you look at it, especially for us here in Southern California. But I do want to show you that as we head into the rest of the week, things begin to change. But first, take a look. This is what the rest of the region is going to feel like once we head toward the afternoon. So of course, we'll have those 70s along the coast, and then look at all the oranges, the reds, and even the purples here on the board. So 80s, 90s, triple digits today. High pressure has been the dominant feature the last few days. It will finally loosen its grip on us as we head into the rest of the week, as it slides just a little bit to the east. That little movement is what's going to bring us that relief. So by the end of the week, look, we go from mid 80s for LA and Orange County. We finally get down to below average Friday, 80 degrees. And then by the weekend, upper 70s. So we're looking at some nice cooler conditions on the way. Triple digits today and tomorrow for the valleys. And then as we head into the rest of the week, we're going down into the low 90s by Friday, upper 80s by Saturday. And then for our Inland Empire communities, temperatures will be in the upper 70s through Wednesday. And then we're going to gradually start to cool down into the low 90s as we head into the weekend. High desert communities, 107. You'll finally get out of the triple digits by the time we head into Friday, into the upper 90s and then mid 90s. 87 for the mountains today. And then we're looking at temperatures also topping out about 70s as we head into Friday. And then the beaches look great, mid 70s for the next 7 days. All right, back to you guys.
I love it, Amber. Beautiful weather. All right, let's talk about the Chargers game yesterday. Yes, they won. Go Bolts. But Kcal Cares, we teamed up with Operation Gratitude to give back to fans and also join our letter writing campaign, basically sending messages and support to our troops overseas. And it was so cool to see all the fans and all the kids come out and just wanting to, you know, send a message of thank you, because we both come from military families. We grew up with our fathers in the military. And when you're deployed, it could be a lonely situation.
Certainly
and just that little bit of like, thank you.
A handwritten note goes a very long way. And it was really nice for you to be out there and meet a lot of our viewers.
It was cool. We connect on that way because we know the military lifestyle, and it could be a tough one.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Hey, if you want to be a part of this, write a letter. We're going to be at the Americana at Brand and the Grove on Thursday. Come out and show a hero you care. They also are doing letters for first responders who are just as important.
Perfect. All right. Well, still ahead on the 10 at 10, a relic of the internet is finally ending the digital disconnect that you probably thought already happened years ago.
You've got mail. Remember that? Finally, story number 10. You may remember AOL, also the signature sign off of
goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, now it's saying goodbye to users that access the internet. It is disconnecting dial-up. Yeah, it's still operational. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was still going.
Yeah, but only for a few more weeks. The internet relic, popular in the 90s and early 2000s, is formally being retired. It'll shut down sometime late next month. And I remember being young and going on it. I still remember my screen name.
Me too.
What was yours?
Baby Eclipse.
Baby Eclipse, and now you're a meteorologist.
Well, that's because I drove an Eclipse.
Oh, a car. Mine was Abso Cold.
And I don't remember.
Because it was the name of the refrigerator in my parents' room.
I
never had abs. No, not at all. And you don't remember yours, but.
I don't remember.
I'm going to
have to find something about with my name.
Sweet Amy.
Sweet Amy. There you go. Well, hey, you guys, we did it.
We did it.
First time. Good job. That was awesome.
We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yes.
Thanks so much for watching the 10 to 10. We'll be here with local updates throughout the day.
Now you can get your Kcal news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.